Hey, welcome back. Just give me a second. I have to fix some of the things in the setup. Let me post the announcement in the Discord server. Okay, very well. We can go back to the code. Hello. What was the okay? You retracted the message. Okay. How are you doing? Welcome back. So I was thinking to with typos. It's okay. So I was thinking to start the chess project sooner. Maybe tomorrow evening. I'm not sure, but maybe I will try tomorrow afternoon. So I checked Bitboards can be used for sand simulation, and it can. Oh, really? Oh, that's cool. I mean, I have no idea what you exactly mean, but so for me it was like, so we can actually try some imagination instead of going back to the code for now, just to have some okay. So for Bitboards we use U64. Which means like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So we have 8 rows and 8 columns. And then we track each. So for example, for this could be for rooks. I mean, I don't exactly so for 2 rooks, this is for rooks probably, and then there is another one for the queen, and then there is another one for the knight. So there is in total 6. There is in total 6 bitboards. Like 6 U64 values for chess. And then for the sand simulation, I was not sure how to do it, because so sand simulation, gravity is important. So for example, shifting down, sliding down is important, and then we could have slide down and some other directions, like this kind of vectorial movement. And then I was not sure how could we manage that using bitboards. So AI was suggesting that we use a row vector U64, maybe horizon effect. How do you mean horizon effect? So for example, AI was suggesting that, for example, here if there is an empty place, this is 0, and then there is, this is a sand, for example, and this has to drop down. We just make this so we just find the find the places that this one is 0 and OR it with the row on top, and then we get this kind of a gravity effect where things fall down. To foreshadow next step. Oh, okay, I see what you mean. What's this about? Hi, welcome back. So we are so I was thinking to do sand simulation. So let me show you something. There is this game called Noita. I don't know if you have seen it. It's a really cool game. I haven't played it, but I mean, the idea of having oh, this is taking so long to load. But the idea of having a sand environment was really interesting and intriguing for me. And I was thinking maybe there is a way that we can try to, you know, try to have some kind of a thing there. Maybe not exactly like this, but then yeah, I was thinking, how can one do this? It's a very cool thing. Like all the sand, like little particles, movements, small particles. There's a Minecraft sand simulation, and then yeah, so that's where it comes from. That we were already discussing bitboards for chess, where they consider the whole board as a like one U64, like 64-bit 8 by 8 integer, and then each bit considers 1 square in the chessboard. Now, can we do the same idea for sands and consider each pixel that we draw on the screen as a bit there, like a placement that the sand can be there? I mean, that's what I was thinking about. And is it possible to do that? Minecraft. What was it? Minecraft Sand Sim. So that's the idea. That's the whole thing. Sand simulation. Oh, okay. So these are like blocks of sand. But how do they store it? Like, how do they calculate the? Like, do they use the normal array system, or? That's what I'm wondering. Like, is it? How do they do it? Like, it's just a normal array that you have in your memory, and then you just do the calculation with gravity per the one by Matt. Which one is Matt? Powder simulation with just redstones. So these are gameplay stuff, so I don't know which one is it. If you know where is the link, you can try to send it in the Discord, by the way. In the general channel. Yeah, the first, okay. Let me try.
One of the coolest things you can do with a computer is simulate physics. From realistic video games, to the car industry, to that one aerodynamics of a cow meme I see sometimes, physics sims...
I don't know why my system is a little bit laggy for some reason.
are a huge part of modern computing. Over the last few years, I've received hundreds of comments asking me to make one with Redstone, and last month, I finally gave in. I went down a super interesting rabbit hole and ended up making what is now one of my favorite Redstone builds ever. I hope you enjoy.
But this is like having a build like in Minecraft. I don't think it is. It is this one we're talking about. We're like we're talking about like the algorithm to design. I don't know. Like this is.
Got even crazier. We went from just
mechanic to
bouncing a ball, to fighting with sprites, all the way to now with realistic 3D interactions in nearly every new game. But when it comes to physics sims made in Minecraft, there hasn't been this same progress. Redstone is extremely slow, and once you reach a certain amount of complexity, it becomes impossible to run. So when I started thinking about what kind of physics sim to make, I decided that for once in my life, I didn't want to go down the super complicated route. Diagonally, down and to the left. If that cell also already has sand, move diagonally to the right, and if all three have sand, do nothing. With just these rules, sand particles already behave like a powder, bouncing off each other and naturally forming piles. The piles are always perfect pyramids, which I guess is not super realistic, but for such simple rules, it's still very impressive. My first goal was simple. I wanted to build a simple...
Oh, this is a very cool one. So for... Yeah, you would have to do horizon effect. So as was mentioned. But then if I go back here, so for 8 rows, you would have to do this 8 times. 8 times the calculation. But then here we just do each row once and we consider 64. So it's like with 8 of them, it would completely be 64 rows. And for this one, we have 8. And then there is 64, 64. That would be 8 times 8. 64, 64. Yeah, that's also 64, but then for each one of them I have to do 8 of them, so that's like 64 times 8. That's so it's more expensive to do it with for sand, I guess. For sand we would have to consider a complete row, right? Ones and zeros. And if this is 0, then this is sand. There's no sand, like no sand. Sorry. No sand. And if it's 1, it's sand. And then this one can go down 1, or it can also shift towards this and this. Yeah, it's an interesting thing, but we would have to consider also the edges, like here there is only one on so there is this one, and the like the first and the last value, first and last bit, like what happens to them if they go, for example, to the right. You would have to consider the next row down also, right, left, like do calculation there. But if it is 8 by 8, I don't know how this could happen there. I guess we would have to try to shift it to like if it's blocked on under it, then it could go right or left. I mean, if I'm trying to imagine how could we have the similar design using just the bit board. Well, anyway, so another thing that I was considering was also having 232 two rows of 32 bits, or 416 bits. But I'm not sure, like, and these are all the design constructions somebody can do, but I don't know which one is more easier or helpful in general. But I am assuming that the long one could be longer ones, or like when you consider the row as longer, it becomes easier because naturally you would have to consider each row anyway because of the gravity effect and the horizon effect. But you're not gonna do as much of a so for example horizontal shifting as much. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure. I will have to. Yeah, it's actually interesting. Let's continue.
Simulator for sand with just these 4 basic rules. If I could do that, I'd feel way more comfortable moving on to a more complicated powder sim. So the first step was to figure out how to move the particles. Typically when I hear movement, I think of shift registers, which use locked repeaters to move signals. These felt like a good...
Is it the same video that you were talking about, by the way?
idea because if you make them vertical, they can shift whole columns of particles down at once. But the more I thought about it, the more I realized shift registers are not a great fit here. The main idea of a powder simulation is that every cell thinks for itself. Some particles might be moving down, but at the same time, others might be moving diagonally. So instead of shift registers, I needed a more general movement system, something where all particles could be moved independently. As I spent the next few hours trying to make this general system, it was proving to be a struggle. I had a few promising ideas for the design, but they just all felt overcomplicated. Intuitively, I felt like there
I mean, it's so unless you consider the movement for we are not considering any acceleration or anything. So it's like a static, like specific fixed velocity for each particle, and then we want to track them by bits. That's the whole idea. But then I am not sure how this could happen. No more the parts where he explains the movement. Yeah, I understand. Like you mean the beginning, like the first 1 minute. And yeah, so and that's the whole idea that when so let me go back here, like here exactly.
particle follow these simple rules. If the cell below me is empty, move down.
So this is pretty easy with the bit board. So for example, if you imagine one row of 64 bits, like one number, um, and for example, this one is 1 and the other ones are 0. How do we get that under it is empty? We just I think we just have to XOR it with a complete one row, right? Is it? And then it will give us the ones that are 0 will return us 1, and the ones that are 1 are going to return us 0. And then with just XORing this with 1 completely 1, we get empty parts of this one thing. Yeah, but if you do it in the array system, you would have to go like one by one. You have to check each house separately, right? You see what I mean? Like you would have to go separately. Like I have to check this and then go next one and then go next one. Because you have to check their gravity. So for example, how do you know that this one is empty? You have to check if it is empty and then move it, like push them down. You see what I mean? It's because it's kind of a like as Gon has is was saying, like we have a horizon effect. So it's like you have to know what is down to be able to know if this one is going down. Yeah, but not entire board. Um, yeah, you have to consider entire board because you have to. So for example, for this one, you have to just consider the tile or the column, right? So you do it column by column, right? And then, but with the bit board, it's like you have a 64, like a row of 64 bits, and you just do two calculations that are bitwise, XOR and then OR, XOR and then and then you completely shift everything down and it's just done. It's so easy. I don't understand. What do you mean? Like, why not each pixel? Let me read your messages again. Maybe I didn't understand. Okay. So you want to be controlling all pixels at once. Yeah, but we cannot completely control all pixels at once, honestly, because, well, there is always like gravity effect. Like you have to see what's under it and then do the shift and stuff. But what is interesting is that um, you can break the whole problem to smaller, like smaller rows. Like each number could effectively represent a uh, 64 of these places in a row, one row. And then if you just um, yeah, you can just know how the sand goes down like that. And then if you put them all together, then that's for example, if you have 1,000 pixel width, that would be 1,000 divided by 64, something around, I don't know, 15 to 20 numbers, just to cover and you don't have to use arrays, and it's also fast. It's really fast because it's just the gravity is just with the XOR and another and condition, and it's just done, the whole thing. Unless I'm considering something that is like impossible, I don't know. I feel like this should be possible somehow. I mean, but there are problems to solve. Like there is the one problem is that how do you represent the player? Like how would you proceed with the player? Because the player collision and stuff would be, we have to also consider player collision. And then we have to consider player collision as a pixel wise also. And then there is, we have to create masks for player um, movement already there. It's possible I asked AI for such existing ways of solving. Uh, so actually, I already asked AI for this solution, and it was AI that proposed that we put complete row. But yeah, I had some doubts because if you want to do raycasting, or if you want to see how the player is moving, it becomes a bit more complicated. Things become much more complicated, and the row is not gonna answer for everything. So probably having 164-bit but true rows could maybe more helpful for some of the calculations, like for um, array casting and stuff. But yeah, of course, at the end of the day, you would have to ask AI for help and to. But then AI is not perfect. Also, like I don't know, they might give you some answer, but you would have to try it for like you would have to try to see which kind of design is better. Like, do we do 164 row, or do we do two rows of 32 bits, or like which design is better for. And I mean I don't find any website about designing such thing with the sand simulator.
Otherwise, if that cell already has sand, move diagonally down and to the left. If that cell also
Like this was also interesting. Like how do we know to move? But this is also possible to do with the movement. It's really so it's just super, like we just shifted one to the left or right, and then we do another XOR and um, not exactly XOR this time. We are trying to see if there's empty place here. So yeah, we have to design some kind of algorithm for this kind of movement, for bitwise calculations. But thank you for proposition. I will definitely, I will put the video inside the Discord channel. I will definitely check that out. Okay. Yeah, but I will try probably tomorrow. I will start the Bitboard thing for chess, and then yeah, I will hopefully get it done by the end of this week, and then I will see if I can use it for sand simulation using the same uh, construction that I have here. Um, yeah, and mm, like I will try to use the similar stuff that I've been doing in the past weeks for different things. But yeah, okay. So here, where are we? Okay, I had to create buffers for vision here. Okay, what kind of a value do we give to... Okay, so this is not gonna work because this is line thing and that's rectangle stuff. So I need another function for line. camera AABB, camera zoom, aspect ratio. BB is erect, and then zoom is f32. Aspect ratio is also 32. What it does return is direct GPU. Okay. Which means that so I have to do const rel x rel ax. Oh, actually, that's good. Okay. Um, bxby. I don't. Okay. Vec for GPU. Search for rect GPU and put them vec for GPU by choice. Okay. App.player cast ray const hit Okay. Cast single array. Map.dvh. Hit that origin and then okay, we have to see if it is not null. Right? Origin 1, and then here it should be this is the endpoint, and hits have direction and distance. So I should probably do multiplication of distance and direction here. Um, okay, and then I would put end 1 and 0 here, and then end 1 here. That should be it, no? I will return a hit point, and then what is the hit point in types? There's PID, direction and distance. So I want this to go over. Yeah, here probably. We have only one ray for now. So one instance, no, two rays. Two rays of 2 points, or one instance of 4 points. 4 vertices. The pipeline is vision. And the size is it's not 4, it's just the size of that. Let's fix the errors. I forgot to turn on music, by the way. GPU, where is it? In BVH. So pvh.castray only accepts 1 point. Okay, it only accepts the ray. I'm extremely sleepy. Anyway, I would have to come back for a short time. Tomorrow I will be back tomorrow afternoon. Sorry, I'm not gonna be staying around for long right now. So I will come back tomorrow afternoon. I will be around more than 1 hour tomorrow. And then Yeah, I think I will start the sand bitboard tomorrow afternoon. I will try to continue this offline, of course. I will try, chess bitboard tomorrow. It will be the chess bitboard thing, and I will try to use Raylib. I will try to use the setup that I had. I mean, for now. I don't know if I should try with. I mean, I could try with Mach as well. But then because I've written everything in Raylib already, I feel like I don't want to focus on the graphics side. I just want to be able to use the bitboards, and then I will see how things go from there. Yeah, sorry today I couldn't do much in the afternoon. It's just yeah, I came back late and I have to go sooner. But yeah, tomorrow afternoon I will try the bitboard. Definitely. Yeah, I will try to create the project already so that yeah, we can start immediately. Like, let me update this for now. Casting Ray. Okay. Thank you for watching. See you tomorrow afternoon. Take care. Bye bye.